One of the very nicest things about life is the way we must regularly stop whatever it is we are doing and devote our attention to eating. Luciano Pavarotti, My Own Story. Seldom in life are things easily understood or done. However, one thing that will always be understood throughout time is this: man must eat. Food processing has become as necessary to life as food itself. It is increasingly more cost-conscious to discover ways to innovate and improve the rate of production. At BYU, we have our own processing facility, the Culinary Support Center, or CSC. The CSC supplies BYU facilities, including the creamery stores, the MTC, and all vending machines on campus with fresh, delicious food. Brigham Young University Dining Services is capable of producing 31,000 meals a day. It means that on the average, every 2.787 seconds, someone eats a meal produced by the CSC. It employs 45 workers per shift. Raw produce is ordered 3 times per week with 300 to 400 cases per order. The CSC also orders 200 cases of pineapple, 30 to 40 cases of green peppers, 15 cases of sliced tomatoes, and as many as 5 cases of sliced cucumbers per week. The CSC does everything it can to make sure every part of processed food is used. Even the waste from high-quality produce goes through a pulper process. The end product provides quality compost used by BYU grounds for their mulch and topsoil needs. This helps to sustain and beautify the plants in BYU's campus landscapes. There are many time-saving machines used in the Culinary Support Center. The CSC can easily dice over 300 pineapples a day. The process begins by removing the top and bottom layer of the pineapple by hand. It is then placed into the peeler and then pressed through a blade, separating the pineapple into halves. The process is similar in cantaloupe processing. The diced fruit is placed into fruit salads, hand-picked fruit trays, or packaged individually. The CSC also produces quality chopped lettuce. The process begins with employees cutting off the tops and bottoms of the lettuce. The unwanted portion is transported into the pulper machine. The best lettuce goes into a cutter. Then it's conveyed to an invigorating water bath for a few minutes. After being sprayed with fresh water, it goes into a centrifuge and is spun to remove excess liquid. The lettuce is then weighed, trayed, or put in 3-pound bags. It's then sealed and labeled. The CSC guarantees the best quality food with the greatest freshness. It uses these vacuums to suck out all the air and keep your vegetables crisp. Handmade sandwiches are also sealed through another machine to ensure freshness. An employee checks orders placed in crates ready to be transported. With the best produce, the CSC is able to create some delicious vegetables and fruit trays. Machines don't do everything at the center. Carving out the inside of peppers and putting together trays is all done by hand. Employees also create beautiful meat and cheese trays. These platters are not only good to look at, but delicious to eat. As you can see, the CSC team put a lot of detail into these platters. For our meat tray, the culinary specialist is sculpting the tomato to give it its artistic edge. Add olives and voila! Most people think of buttermilk as buttery, high-fat milk, but they may be wrong in that assumption. There is no butter in buttermilk. Old-fashioned, homemade cultured buttermilk is slightly sour. Buttermilk is mainly used for baking and sometimes as liquid refreshment. The BYU Creamery produces buttermilk with leftover milk after it's processed into other products. Empty bottles go along a conveyor belt. The liquid is injected into bottles and sealed with caps. It then goes through a wash and is hand-packed into crates to be distributed. Famous BYU ice cream is a tradition in our community, with over 141 different flavors to choose from. If that's not unbelievably enough, additional flavors are in development to ensure there is a flavor to satisfy everyone's sweet tooth. The ice cream is stored in a huge freezer kept at 19 degrees below zero. The secret to BYU Creamery ice cream is the use of 2 to 4% more butterfat than other locally made ice cream. This gives it the amazing creamier texture. Cheese is a favorite of BYU students and is probably America's most used food to enhance any meal. The dairy plant at the CSC makes delicious cheeses. Hand-packed squeaky cheese or cheese curds are a delicious treat. Making cheese is an interesting, time-consuming, and technical process. Early every morning, the CSC bakery begins baking rolls, bagels, and an assortment of treats. The bakery has something for everyone, including glazed donuts. BYU's rolls are famous for their taste and good looks. The dough is kneaded, rolled into balls, raised, and then placed in the oven to cook. And of course, what would the bakery be like without the famous BYU Mint brownie? The brownie originally came from chef Eliza Wardy in the 1950s and has thrilled people's taste buds over the past 60 years. The food prepared at the CSC is delivered to the Cougar Eat, the Twilight Zone, Pendulum Court, the Creamery Outlet Store, the Creamery on 9th, Legends Grill, and the Moa Cafe, just to name a few. Technology has allowed us to take our food further and longer than we have ever been able to before. We are pleased that BYU has this state-of-the-art facility producing quality products for the BYU community.